Hello students, Logan Phillips here, Professor P. Today's video will be talking about the guided project 2-1 for Microsoft Word. Now I am working on Microsoft Office 2019 standalone version. You might be using Office 365, the cloud version. I am working on a PC, so we will be using a PC settings to do this. Now once you get to your Simnet environment, you will see this environment, this breakdown. We have our instructions in the middle. We have our start file on the left-hand side, of course, where we'll upload and submit for grading on the right. Now, as we work through this, understand that I am working through it live. I may make mistakes here and there. If we upload, we see a mistake, we'll re-download, fix the errors, and put it back up. But hopefully you should get somewhere in the A range with me working you through. Understand I am your professor, but that does not mean I am perfect. We will do this together because every so often I do these assignments. They update the questions, they update the wording. One, it helps me see from a student's perspective, and two, you get to see common errors and why we do things a certain way. So let's go ahead and do the start file first, download it, open her up, enable editing. Our first steps are already done. We're going to go ahead and make an extra step that I suggest you do. You don't have to, which is File, Save As, and put this on your desktop. Now, the reason we're putting this on our desktop instead of working on it on the same place it downloaded it to is because students every semester have the same error where they upload their start file instead of their completed work. Now, I am working on a split screen, so I'm going to move all these instructions to my left screen so you won't be seeing them anymore. But I strongly suggest you print them out, and I will tell you what step we're on as we're working through this document. Now, I'm going to zoom in here on the bottom right-hand corner just to make it easier for you guys to see what I'm doing. And let's just get that a couple more bumps. All right, so we have the document we're working on. With starting off, we are 3 pages, 610 words. You can tell from the bottom left corner of my screen. We can see that we have this orange coloring in the logo, which is the coloring of the templates that we're going to be using. And we're going to be working through a few different skills inside this document. Really, we're going to be working with templates, modifying it so that our color schemes and stuff are really nice and attractive. We're going to be dealing with a multi-question list, dot leaders, creating that document where it's a line across everything. And we've all seen this. If you've ever worked with Microsoft Word, you have things like the signature of insured, and someone will come through and hit, shift, underline, and they'll do that button where they hit it a bunch of times to make a signature line. I'm going to show you how not to do that, because that's one, a really stupid way of doing it, and two, there's just a faster and easier way. We're going to do some page numbering, some footers. We're going to insert a page break, which is extremely useful, but really we're going to be modifying styles just to make an attractive document here. All right, so very first, starting off on steps 1 and 2, we've already accomplished by downloading and saving the document. Next, we're going to change the margins of the document. So we're going to go to the Layout tab, Page Setup. We're going to open up our Page Setup dialog box launcher. We'll say that this video is uploaded to YouTube, and the reason we do upload this to YouTube instead of like Blackboard or Canvas or any of those type of things is because YouTube in the bottom right-hand corner has settings that you can do to the video where you could speed up the video or slow it down. So if I'm talking too slow, hit play at 1.5 times the speed. If I'm talking too fast, hit play at 0.5 speed. Whatever you need to be able to work with me as we're going through this. All right, so we've changed the margins of the document. We've opened up from our Layout tab, Page Setup, the dialog box launcher in the bottom right-hand corner. We are going to change our left and right margins from a 1 to a 0.75, so we're shrinking those margins down a little bit. And it did say left and right, not top and bottom. So let's go ahead and make sure we hit left and right. They are in a column together, and hit OK. So we've done step 3 at this point. Going to step 4, we are going to do a page theme. So let's go to the themes document. So we go into Design tab. We have a variety of themes, but we have on the left-hand side in the document formatting the themes, and we're going to choose the integral theme. And then we can see here that all my themes are this bluish color, but our logo is orangish, so we're going to change the color of our theme to match that logo. So in the Design tab, in the document formatting group, we're going to go into the colors colors button, and we're going to scroll down until we hit aspect, which has this nice orange color tones to it. Noticing that all my themes now have changed over. Let's go back to our home tab where we're starting off. At this point, we have done step 4. So let's go into step 5. We're going to change the font size, paragraph spacing, and line spacing for the entire document. Now we know it's the entire document, so we're going to hit Control and A, selecting everything from all 3 pages. All right, we see it's selected from all 3 pages. Our first step is to change the font size. So Home tab, font grouping, we're going to change the font size to an 11. And then we're going to change the line spacing to single 1.0. So we're going to go Home tab, paragraph, this little double line up and down. We're going to drop it down and we're going to hit line spacing 1. Okay. And then we're going to change the after paragraph spacing to 6. So let's go Home tab, paragraph grouping. Let's open the paragraph dialog box launcher. Let's change the spacing after to a 6. Nope, that was before. That would have caused me problems. So we're going to hit cancel and we're going to do that again. Home tab, paragraph grouping, dialog box launcher, after, and to 6 points. And we're going to hit OK. So we can see now we've shrunk everything down pretty well. We're down to 2 pages actually specifically now instead of 3. And so we're going to start cleaning this up at this point. So we've done step 5. And that was a very common error for a lot of students to make. If you hit paragraph grouping, it's very easy to quickly hit 6, but before 6 instead of an after 6 will screw up the whole document. You'll wind up with 3 pages. It's going to cause a problem. So make sure you hit after paragraph spacing as a 6. And of course the line grouping here was a 1.0, so just keep those in mind. All right, next on a 6, we're going to apply some styles. So we're going to start with our title header. So we're going to go Contractors Insurance Questionnaire. We're going to choose that to be a title. We're going to choose the please carefully read all and understand all questions. And we're going to change this to a, what will we change this to? Book title. So let's go ahead and drop down from our Home tab to our Styles grouping. Open it up to make sure we're seeing all of it. We have book title right here. Now, another way you could have done this is with it all selected, we could have right-clicked, brought up the new submenu, hit Styles, and chose Book Style from here. That's 2 ways to do it. It does not matter which way you do it. It will recognize it either way. Next, we're going to choose the applicant's instructions. And at this point, we have done 6A, B, C, D. We missed step 6E, so let's go back. Please carefully read and understand all instructions. We're going to have that all selected. We're going to go to our Home tab, our font grouping, and we're going to choose this all as uppercase. All right, now let's choose our application's instructions. And it's always good to backtrack a little bit, make sure you're getting them, and if you're following along with your instructions, you can actually click them and keep track of where you're at. Excuse me. All right, next we're going to select the application's instructions, and we're going to go into our design tab again. I'm sorry, our Home tab. We're going to come to our styles, and we're going to choose intense quote. All right, we're going to try apply style to all, none, and none. So that 3rd paragraph down, we're going to select all. I'm going to hit my control button, and I'm going to double click the other words, none and none. So this is just a very quick way to select. I selected all, hit my control, double clicked my left mouse button very quickly to select the next 2 words. Now this keeps me to where I don't accidentally select the grammar pieces or the whole sentence or an empty space, those type of things. And so Home tab, Styles group, and we're going to choose strong on that. So it's a little bit different way than just choosing, bold or bold underline or one of those types of things. With this, we have completed step 6. And we're on to step 6H. We're going to choose the insurance application disclaimer. All right, on page 2, and I believe it's right here. Towards the middle of page 2, insurance application disclaimer, and we're going to do an intense quote here as well. Now I want you to notice the intense quote is indented. We're going to fix all this on the next step. We're going to modify an existing style. So with our Home tab selected in our Styles grouping, we're going to come over here to intense quote, and we're going to right click it, and we're going to choose to modify. Now, this allows us to change up a theme, so it's not just the ones built into Microsoft Word. We can make custom themes, so maybe I own my own company and I want to use the same type of theme, the layouts, on multiple documents that I'm creating. I can actually modify these, create custom themes, save them to my computer so that I can use them indefinitely. So if I'm going to create my annual review, I can create it over and over again, and it always maintains that same sort of layout. It's especially useful in places that use a very set set color. Like if you're going to use TCC blue, which is a very specific color code, you would need to set this up to be that particular color. So it's just one of those types of things. It's very easy to speed up your workflow going forward. All right, so in step 7 with the button, we're going to modify this theme. We're going to we're going to choose to change it to a 12-point font. Then we're going to go to our paragraph. So we're going to come down here to the left-hand side, click Format. We're going to choose Paragraph. It's going to open up a paragraph dialog box launcher. Now this is the exact same paragraph dialog box launcher that opens up if you go to the Home tab, Paragraph Dialogs. The difference is the one that's on your Home tab and in your paragraph launcher is for the document. This one is specifically for this individual style. So if we have it open up this way by going to the Format, you're only modifying this one little piece. All right, with this we're going to change the left and right indent to 0. So we have indents, we have spacing, left indent, right indent. We're going to 0.6, we're going to change that to 0. And 0.65, change that to 0. And yep, I think that's it for that. So we're going to hit OK. We're going to make sure that we're only changing this theme for this document. Now, if you're working in your regular world and you're creating custom documents, you can name it whatever you want, but we don't want to screw up our Microsoft Word themes right now at the beginning of a semester. We're going to be using these over and over again. So make sure you're only for this document. And we hit OK. And we can now see that my document, my header here for the intense quote is now left aligned. It's a little bit more clear, and it's changed it for the whole document. Okay. And so what happens with this and why we change themes, say if I came down here and wanted this to be that same style, I can now click on it and it will modify to that modified style. So no matter how I use the style for the rest of this document, it's always there. Now, I did something I didn't want to do, so I'm going to hit Control-Z, undo it very quickly. And we're going to go into step 8. We're going to add some borders. So on your page 2, underneath that insurance application disclaimer, you have 3 paragraphs. With those 3 paragraphs selected, we're going to come to our Home tabs. We're going to go to a paragraph grouping. We're going to do our borders box. We're going to come down to borders and shading and open up the borders and shading dialog box launcher. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select my left border and my right border. I'm going to change my width from a 0.5 point to a 1 point. Then I'm going to change my color to a orange. I think it's accent 1, which is the first row, 4th column. And you can see here now all my borders are modified. We have these borders here, and we're going to double click on them, and you see, or click on them once, so you can see that they've now changed to orange. So I have orange borders that are going to be left side and right side. The next step is between those 2 borders, I want a nice orange shading to happen. So let's go into shading, and we're going to choose a fill color of that orange, but we're going to go a little bit lighter to light accent lighter 80%. Orange accent 1, lighter 80%. Sorry, I'm switching up my words here. And we're going to hit OK. And we see here now we have a nice little 3 paragraphs in parentheses, or not parentheses, in border with a shading between them. All right, so we've done here now steps A, B, C. We did modify one thing we did not change. So let's go ahead and re-highlight those and fix this. I am looking at step 8F. Now we forgot to change it to a 1 point. So with that selected, let's do our borders again, borders and shading. And where are we at? We did 1 point. Okay, I'm sorry. We actually did change it to 1 point. I thought we didn't, so I want to make sure we went in and fixed that. So we should be at orange, 1 point, left and right, and lighter 80%. All right, so we're done through F, done through G, done H. All right, and let's open that back up one more time. Home tab, paragraph grouping. I'm sorry, Home tab, paragraph grouping, borders and shading, and we're going to come here to options, and we're going to change this on the left and the right to 5 points. We're at 4 point now. Let's change these on the left and the right to 5 point. Hit OK and hit OK. We are now done with step 8. We have a good looking little box here with 80%, nice thick borders on the sides. And so for number 9, we're going to select the last 3 lines of text on the second page. You can see here we're at the bottom of the second page. So let's select those last 3 lines. We're going to go to the paragraph launcher, so home tab, paragraph, dialog box launcher on the right hand side. And we're going to change the before paragraph spacing to 12. So third one down, spacing before, we're going to change that to 12. We're going to open up our tabs, which is in the bottom left-hand corner. So we're going to work on tab leaders here. So these are signature lines. What we don't want to do is that Control-Shift, tab, 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 where it makes that little indented line. We just want one line there, a whole solid line, no matter how much we type out here, just to fill in the blank from where this word ends to the end of the border of the page. So let's open up our tabs. We're going to type a 7 in the tab stop possession. And you can see here the reason we did that is because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th position is my 7th inch on my page. We're going to choose to go to the right. So we're starting from the left going to the right. And we're going to choose a solid line number 4. So wherever I hit tab, I want to go from that spot all the way to my 7th inch and make a solid line. So let's hit OK. And I'm just checking to make sure I got all my steps correct. All right, let's click on the name and title of the insured. At the very end of it, let's hit our tab button. And you can see here I have a solid line all the way to my 7th inch. Solid line all the way to the 7th inch. And you can see even though the words ended in a different place, once I hit tab, it ends the tab at the very last, at that 7th inch. All right, with that, we are complete with step 9. Let's move on to step 10. We're going to add a multi-level list to selected text and modify the list settings. So this is a questionnaire, and we have all this information here. So we're going to select the lines beginning with applicant, starting here, and we're going to end with if yes, please let me explain. So I'm going to hit my shift button, left click, selecting that entire document. We're going to go to our home tab, our paragraph grouping, and we have a multi-level list option, and we're going to come down here to define new multi-level list. And with that, we're going to modify this a little bit. Select the 1AI. So 1AI, we're there. We're going to select this for all multi-level list. Or set for all levels. All right, and from here we're going to modify this to 0.33. 0.3.3. Hit OK. I'm going to check that one more time, but open up the set for all levels. Sometimes that messes up. We're still at 0.33, so we're taking care of that. All right, and we're going to hit OK. And now we have this nice multi-level list with all the individual pieces. So we're on to step 11. We're going to click anywhere on the list to deselect it, so we're not have the whole list selected. We're going to place our insertion at the 13. Now, we can't do it at the end of the list. We want to do it actually on the 13. So when I click on 13, you can see that my whole list is selected, but 13 is even darker highlighted. With it selected, we're going to hit Tab, make that a sub list, and then we're going to go find where anywhere it says if yes, we're going to click on the number, hit Tab, and move it to the right. Okay, we're still at 2 pages, and we have a nice little breakdown list. I'm just double checking that all the if yes are moved to the right. Okay. Well, we have completed step 11. We are now on to step 12, which means we are almost done with this document. Sub 30 minutes to get this done with 100%, I guarantee it. We're going to change the paragraph spacing on the multi-level list and add a tab stop with an underline leader. So of course these are all asking questions. So just like we did down here, we want them to be able to fill in their answers. So if we print this off and hand it to somebody, they have a nice line to fill it in, and so they're not writing all weirdly on my paper, overlying and doing stupid things. So we're going to start wherever the word's in, make a tab leader to the very end on that tab level 7 or the 7th inch. So let's select the entire multi-level list again. Start at applicant, come down to if yes. I'm doing shift and left click. All right. We're going to go to the paragraph launcher, home tab, and open up the paragraph dialog box launcher. So home tab, paragraph grouping, open it up. And we're going to click on the tabs button because we are going to do a tab leader here. And we're going to change that to the tab position 7. So that's 7th inch in our document. And we're going to do a right because we want it to start from where we click on the left, going to the right. And we want to do a solid line. So 4 is a solid line. So wherever I hit tab, it's going to make a solid line at the end of it. And we're going to hit OK, I believe. All right. Let's go ahead and set this actually. Okay. And hit OK. Now, if we go to applicant at the very end, I hit tab. I have a nice solid line. And we're going to repeat this for each of these questions. Okay. So end of the question, hit tab, call it good. So we're just clicking with the left mouse click and hitting tab, making that nice easy line that always ends on the number 7 and starts wherever I hit tab, going to the right. Now, there's lots of questions, but we keep going, making sure we get all of them, even the sub questions. Okay, we are now finished with step 12. Step 13 is just saving the documents. We can do that top left-hand corner. Next, step 14, we're going to insert a page break. So our questionnaire sort of jumps here. If yes, and are you subcontractor? Really, we want the sub question to be on the same page as the line. So let's go to text number 22. We're going to click right before the R, and we're going to hit on a quick keystroke of Control and Enter. And all that's going to do is make a page break so that that line is the next page down. Again, that was just a keystroke. We held the Control button, hit the Enter. Now what I did not do was hit that while hitting 22. Let's back up and I'll show you what will happen and what the mistake is. If I hit Control Z, I always back up and undo something I've done. If I put my cursor on the A, or right before the A, hit Control Enter, I move the line down. But if I put my cursor on the 22 and hit Control Enter, notice that my number has now disappeared. This is no longer a part of this list. So make sure you don't select the 22. All right. Next, we're going to add page numbers to the footer of the document. We're going to place the insertion point at the beginning of the document. So let's just make this easy. Control Home. We're now at the very front of the document. We're going to click on the page number button, which is the Insert tab. And we're going to go to, where are you at? Insert tab, header and footer grouping. There we go. And we're going to go page number. And we're going to go select bottom of the page. And we want a page number where on the bottom of the page? Bold number 3 on page X and Y. So we want bold number 3, page X and Y. Bold number 3, page X and Y. So we got here on pages X and pages Y, page 1 of 2, page 2 of 2. All right. We're going to hit the blank line below the footer, and we're going to hit delete and enter blank, get rid of that blank line. And then we're going to close the header and footer on the header and footer pop-up menu, header and footer ribbon, close header and footer. So now we should see page 1 of 2, page 1 of 2, and I think we're pretty much all the way done with this document. We can upload it here in just 1 second. So let's go ahead and save it one more time just to be sure. We're going to click the side-by-side view. So let's go to View tab. Let's View tab. And from here, we're going to go to Movements group. And Page Movement group. There we go. And View side to side. All right, so we can see both of our document pages side to side. Yours should look identical to this. First page 1 to 21, second page 22 to 28. A nice paragraph with shading in it, and those dot leaders where I all end on the 7th inch. So this is a nice clean document with coloring that matches our logo. I think at this point we're done, so let's go ahead and save it one more time. We can close it down. We open up our Simnet environment. We scroll to the very top because we have finished all of them. Let's choose to upload my document. And I remember I saved it on my desktop, so we should be able to find that underneath my desktop again. There we go. It's the insurance questionnaire. Now I'm paying special attention to my preview of my document. I can see that I see the orange. I have my dot leaders. I know this is the document that I worked on. Now, if you don't have a preview on the right-hand side when you're choosing these documents, go up to the right-hand side and you have a hide preview button. So you might be only seeing this. We like to have that preview on because we can guarantee, because what a lot of students will do is they will choose their start document, then upload it instead of the actual completed document. Don't do that. Let's hit OK, update it. Yes, submit my file. Let's see what kind of grade we got. Again, I am a person, not a perfectionist, so hopefully I got 100. Yep. So I did you right. Under 26 minutes, even with me jabbering, you get 100% in this assignment. Guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I am Logan Phillips at tulsacc.edu. I'm here to answer those questions. Again, we do this with YouTube, so you can slow it down or speed it up however you want. If you're good at it, run through it. If you need to jump around, go for it. Whatever you need. I gave you some instructions. I showed you why we do certain things, and I showed you some errors that you'll make. If you have any problems, just let me know. I'm here for you. Bye, guys.